about you?
I ain't working in another one. I ain't working in
Well, today I'm not going to try to sit with you people. Down the floor, years ago, I was came to make breakfast. I'm not hungry. Rose is really serious. She said, "Are you rich?" Bring your place, please. I got it. All right. Cliff, I got a job offer.
I got to say, my twin.
No, I'm trying to figure out what to do.
Did you miss me? Well, good, good. Well, you got a good lunch today. Well, there you go. Of course, Cliff, I don't think I've ever seen you when you come in here and you said corn up.
My nephew got married, he was really good and good. But he finished eating, I don't know how. What's a roots chicken salad? Chancellor.
Red skin. Red.
Oh, red.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
it.
It's red skin potatoes. Yeah, red skin. Yeah. No, there's not some kind of animal. There you go.
You seen your mountain rides or something?
They ended up getting married.
How's it going?
Good. Keep walking with him with help. He's not as good as him when he was walking. He has a big defibrillator implanted.
Yeah, Marcel today, huh? All right, very excited.
Get around front.
That is a striking dress.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate that. How are you?
Nice.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you walked in and I had to do a double.
Oh, wow. That's always good.
Very nice, yeah.
Thank you.
Nice spring. We're in spring.
I was down.
Yeah, we're back in Colorado. We're still in the midst of winter. That's really fun.
Yeah,
The spring started at the end of May. We had snow.
No.
We had,
Winter
thank you. We lived at 8,200 feet. Tomorrow will be 3 weeks.
We were down in Colorado. We were
We were above both. Nothing was convenient.
So were you past Flagstaff House then, or?
No, it was further, a little further north. We're off of, we accessed the Magnolia Road from the Boulder Canyon Road. Are you? You know, I went to ER for some other reason and waited and I thought, damn RSV. The original reason I went to ER was nothing. So come away with 12 days of RSV. That's scary. I got to spread these out for
So you moved out to the Purple Ranch, huh?
Yeah, funny farm.
There's a cold with virus going on. I had got it. I was tested for RSV, flu, COVID.
Hey, Scott, how you doing, bro?
I'm actually having a big addition put on the house. Yeah, just this is big.
Hello, everyone. Here,
No, here. I'm actually building a workshop.
Oh, okay.
And it's been kind of interesting watching, but I'm glad I'm around. Because every so often I'm like, hang on, boys, you don't need that much. What about this?
Yeah.
Just
to kind of rein it in a little bit.
Just a little bit. Building because these witnesses inside, so they like when she comes in, does the deal.
Yeah.
You can't do anything else than the building inspector. Then they got to insulate it. They got to inspect it again. Then they got to do it.
Yeah. So who's giving you the trouble? The contractors or the people, the inspectors?
It's really been good. I mean, they're having a relationship. You know, they just don't show up.
Is that right?
They're like, well, we'll be there Thursday. Why not Thursday?
Exactly. Well, that and like every time they're not coming out, that delays the damn thing.
So we had the guys that are doing spray foam insulation. I've never seen it.
In the walls.
Yeah.
You hear those USA insulation.
These match up pretty good. I'd never seen that. I've always done the back stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, but
I would say that if you put it in while you're building, it probably is not. But I mean, but they could come out to my house and do it, right?
They almost have to do it when you're building it because you've got your studs.
Yeah.
Let's say your first studs, they spray it in between those studs.
Yes, yeah.
So to be able to try, you have to pull a piece out and spray it down. They can't. It's like great foam. It's just like great foam. It expands before it
But no, it's interesting that you say that because that's what I always figured. But the commercials make it look like it is accessible to anyone. But
punch holes inside of the house and put the fiber stuff in there.
not the foam.
Not the foam. This literally is just like great foam. It hits the wall and
Exactly. Yeah. I just wouldn't. I mean, because everything by that time, everything's. I just can't keep thinking myself. I would do that as you're putting the damn thing up.
And once they do that, the electricians run the wires. There's straight foam over all of that.
Right.
So you have to get the wires back out.
That's the thing. And I'm going to show you this commercial. I'm going to try to find it because that's exactly why I thought about it. Is they show a real quick clip of it and it's going around the wires. It's like, well, if you do the wire, then it's going to just engulf that stuff. Yeah, see. Check.
I wonder how many Rotarians we got out there. You were running on more. Talking my next
It's terrible.
That would be a hard thing to work.
So I mean, that's the guy spraying like that. But you can see down here. Yeah. That's just solid.
This is honestly
This stuff.
just put water in any electrical work. Well, wait, look at your house.
I told Alan quitting. Same attack. Starts to chew it.
I guess it makes me feel good, right? But that is hilarious. Oh my God. Well, listen, you're safe, but you're not gonna have them come and put the phone in your house.
No, what we did was we put two big,
Oh, okay.
4-foot light
Yeah.
footworks fans out the
Oh,
bottom.
wow.
And they are just ready to come in.
Oh, yeah.
So it's all.
That'll help a lot.
They're doing it now. I can't complain. I tell a lot of these guys, like, oh,
That's interesting.
I would have vetoed that.
Hey, Dickie.
You know you can sit at that table.
There's no reason I said it. I'm looking up.
Oh, you did? That's what you told me that. That's all you did. That's money. That was a trip.
I'll tell you this, he will not pay a cup. He will not pay a cup. He's like, you're French.
Is this in Chapel Hill or anywhere? Do they have cover charges in both?
No, he's not free. Yeah, I'll pay for it. First of all,
That's funny. I did not know that.
we did have a back.
Yeah. That's funny.
The Russian script was trying to see.
Yeah, it's Mardi Gras down there.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, big party tomorrow.
That'll be fun.
If I get my work done there.
On the house or work?
I heard that, I never can't hear you. In the what?
Yeah, Beth would have loved some of this money.
What's that?
Beth would have loved to come.
Is she?
That's my mother.
All they had is you represent.
What I'll do is let me go outside.
I'm not doing that.
I'm gonna sit over here.
In line. In line.
That time, I do that. They're sharp.
Look, I like them groundhog day.
Slow today. Need one more. There you
We live down there.
Wait, I haven't seen you in a while. Brad?
It's true.
My favorite private club.
I will for a while. Hey.
Yeah, you start swallowing it's happening, it's great. Yeah, it's dropping back and it's, oh, it is, That's
Okay, so we're sitting, just sit in here up here, and then this is sort of where the speakers are. And then we get food in the back, and then drinks over here, and then sort of.
Can anybody sit here?
I believe so.
So.
I know they can open up, but I don't, not that I'll be right back.
Doing great.
That's what she was
Oh, yeah.
Cigar came played, but he still shut down.
Well, and it sounded like
That's going to be important.
That's right, I'm John.
Hi, John, I'm Latasha.
Good to see you. Southern Good.
Chancellor? I haven't, so I'm excited to get a chance to meet her on my NCCU alum.
Oh, good.
So I know Jennifer. And so Jennifer invited me to come today. Yeah. How long have you been a part of the Rotary? Okay. Yeah, so I'm assuming you enjoy it. So what's one of the best things that you like about being part of this? What's your industry? educational and financial institutions to help business owners grow and expand. So I see it through advising, training, and entrepreneurship services.
So I work for Fidelity Bank, not Fidelity Investments. We're over there by Sam's Club.
Okay.
That's one of my branches.
Okay.
It's got them all over. Card, I can be a resource.
Okay.
But I got one.
I have an electronic card and presented it. So that's how we do it now.
Well, now I've got the
Right. So what's your number? I can text it to you.
630.
And then you can share your information or share a copy of your card.
I will.
So when you get it, it'll come like a link, and you just click on it, and you can save all of my information to your contact. Yeah. So I do a lot with banks and financial institutions. Yeah. And some of their. I do know travel.
She's on the
Time
way.
to get started.
Keep talking.
Yeah, you gotta stall a little bit.
Well, I got it. She's on her way. We'll do something. First thing I want to do is do a moment of silence. You do whatever you wish to do during this time. Okay, thank you. I could have done 5 minutes of that if I needed to. We're going to welcome some guests. Do we have any guests today? Stand up.
I have my friend Marcus Delbert. Some of you have met him already. He applied and been approved for membership. And we're going to have an induction as soon as Tim can work out the red carpets and the trumpets.
Anyone else? Okay.
Oh, yes, I'm
we
sorry.
have any
Yeah.
visiting?
No, wait, one.
Okay.
Aaron, please stand up, Letitia. Hi, Letitia, can you introduce me?
Hi, my name is Latasha Vescati. I'm with Infinity Bridges, and Jennifer Player actually invited me as a guest today.
Thank you for being here.
Do we have any visiting Rotarians today? Stand up and tell us about yourself. Yeah, I think probably most of you know me. My name is Keith Wolf. I've been a member since COVID. I joined while everybody was didn't know whether to come or not, and I didn't have anybody to give me as a guest, but I was a Rotarian in another place, so y'all finally let me in, and I appreciate it. I really enjoyed being a Rotarian during this time. This is my 3rd time as Sergeant of Arms, and you probably won't ask me after today, so we'll see. All right. One day, I thought I would trawl the internet, and after a couple of hours, I found some really, really good stuff, but then I remembered I was supposed to be the Sergeant of Arms today. So this is what I found. For better or worse, hook up your seatbelts and we're going to go. Here we go. Top 3 situations that require witnesses: solving crimes, resolving accidents, and marriage. Need I say more? Women marry because they believe that he will change one day. Men marry because they believe she will never change. Both are mistaken. Wife says, "Do you want dinner?" Husband, "Sure, what are the choices?" Yes and no.
Thank you.
We have a speaker. That's After a quarrel, a wife said to her husband, "You know, I was a fool when I married you." And the husband replied, "Yes, dear, but I was in love and I didn't notice." On their wedding night, a groom asked his new bride, "Honey, am I your first?" She said, "Why does everybody always ask me that?" And to be honest, somebody actually asked me that one time, and it was embarrassing. A guest arrived at a wedding where he had not met the groom before. He spotted a dapper young man in a tuxedo and asked, "Are you the groom?" The young man sadly said, "No, I was knocked out in the semifinals." Every time you talk to your wife, your mind should remember this conversation will be recorded for training and quality assurance. The man approached a very beautiful woman in a large supermarket and asked, "You know, I've lost my wife in here somewhere. Can you talk to me for a couple of minutes?" And she said, "Why?" He said, "Because every time I talk to a beautiful woman, my wife appears out of nowhere." "How did your doctor's appointment go today?" Joe asked his wife. "Great, honey," she said. "First, the doctor asked me to take off my clothes." "What?" he said. Then he said, "What a nice body I had." "No," Joe said. Then he complimented me on my legs. Joe was alarmed, but still said nothing. He then said, "What nice breasts I had." Joe was steaming then. "Did he tell you what a fat ass you have?" "No, honey, he didn't even mention you at all." My ex-wife was a great housekeeper. After every divorce, she got to keep the house. I always wanted to marry Miss Wright, but I didn't know her first name was Always. Someone once said that marriage is a 50-50 proposition, but anyone who believes that clearly knows nothing about women or fractions. When a man opens the door of his car for his wife, you can be sure that either it's a new car or a new wife. I accidentally handed my wife a glue stick last week in the cold weather instead of chapstick. She's still not speaking to me. But here's the best advice I found if you're married. This is the best advice I found. Live each day as if it were your last, and each night as if it were your first. Thank you.
Keith?
Yes?
I would like to know if Martha's already approved that, or do I need to tell her about it?
Neither.
Well, Keith, thank you. That was something. I was going to invite my wife, Kelly, today, but glad I didn't. Greetings, everyone. Good to see everybody out. I won't take much time. Kind of the usual. We've got ECHR Night at the Bosch. That's April 15th. I'll be sending around sign up for that. Multiple times. Got good response to that already, so don't miss your seat. 9-0, folks. 9-0. Got Stony Brook this weekend. Looking good out from the Diamond. No meeting on May 16th. We have the district conference here at the Friday Center. We are trying to get as many folks from our club to attend that as possible, since it's in our backyard. We'd love to see you there. $50 rebate if you go. It's $79 until the end of the day today, then it jumps to $99, but you'll still get the $50 rebate if you choose to go. Penny, you mentioned the tech cycling, and that is Saturday, March 22nd, all right? We still need volunteers for that as well. And I will be sending a sign-up sheet for that too. Before I turn it over to Jennifer to introduce our speaker, does anyone have an announcement they would like to share? So be it.
Oh, Tim.
Yes, sir.
Bob Austin, I put the notices around for computers, so that'll probably be the last notice for recycle.
Okay, that's
they're on your table.
Yeah, and Bill, that's a list of the things we can recycle that day, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Thank you, Jennifer.
Hello everyone on this beautiful Friday. I am so pleased to be able to introduce to you today North Carolina native, Dr. Karrie Dixon, who is the second female chancellor of North Carolina Central University. In preparing for today, I watched a really fantastic interview that Dr. Dixon had with David Crabtree. He's also spoken to our club before. And he described that really this position at NCCU found Dr. Dixon, and it's clear, having learned a bit about her, that this is a calling, that she feels really called to be a servant leader, not just to the university, but also to the broader community in Durham and the Triangle. Dr. Dixon was a first-generation college student who was passionate about helping other young people achieve that milestone. She started in the classroom, worked in the UNC system office for 10 years, had a short stint, I think, in television, and you can read more about her on the bio. And without further ado, please welcome to share more about her vast and diverse experience, Dr. Karrie Dixon.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, good to see you. Now, I've been told that the East Chapel Hill Rotary Club has all the energy. All the energy. And I heard that walking in the doors. I want to feel it. So it's good to see you all, and thank you so much for inviting me to speak to you today. I am a Rotarian also. I was inducted in the Elizabeth City. And it's just a pleasure to be back in the Triangle. And I know you've been able to read my bio, but you know, it's just really good to be able to serve the citizens of North Carolina in higher education. And before I move on, I have to do my roll call because I need to know who's in the room. So do I have any Eagles in the room? Yes. Yes, okay. Okay, NCCU. Do I have any NC State Wolfpack in the room? All right, there we go. There we go. Do I have any Spartans in the room? UNCG. All right, Spartans. Good. Do I have any Vikings in the room? No Vikings? Okay, I guess they're too far off in the Northeast. But so I assume that this means I have a lot of Tar Heels in the room. Yeah. Yes. Well, I have to say also that I have a Tar Heel of my own. My daughter just graduated from UNC last May, and she is working with the Chancellor now, Lee Roberts, at UNC. So I do have a Tar Heel, though I am a double Wolfpack. So I let her slide on that one. But anyway, I am just thrilled to be the 13th Chancellor of North Carolina Central University, and I spent 6 years at Elizabeth City State University. And some of you in this room may know the name Erskine Bowles. Okay, well, Erskine Bowles hired me when he was president of the UNC system and to be one of his vice presidents. And so it's just been a pleasure to work for the citizens of North Carolina as we think about higher education. So this is just part of my journey. And as Jennifer mentioned, I started out at NC State, led me to television. I actually worked at WRAL, you all know WRAL, worked with Monica La Liberty, and then from there went to an NBC affiliate in Winston-Salem, and from there, I found higher education. That was my calling at UNCG, in the classroom, and then from there going to NC State to teach also and to work in the provost's office at NC State for 8 years. So I've had 23 years of administration in my journey in higher education. And so it's just such a privilege to continue this journey and to lead NCCU. So I want to tell you a little bit, which way should I point?
Down button.
Down button? Okay.
There you go.
All right, so a couple of things that are happening at NCCU that I'm really proud of. It's been 7 months on the job, just 7 months. And we've gotten a lot done in 7 months, a lot of accomplishments. But one is just graduating 665 students in December. That is a big deal, but it also puts a little pressure on the university because guess what? We have to fill those seats when we continue on to make sure that our enrollment continues to grow. So we led the UNC system in growth, 7.7% as it pertains to our enrollment growth for the fall. So students are coming to NCCU. Students want to be in the Triangle. They want to be in the Bull City. They want to experience those things that we offer in our communities. And so we led the UNC system there in growth for the fall. But guess what? Dating back to that 665 that we graduated in December, we grew 13% in January. So we filled every seat of that 665 and more. So almost 1,000 students. Right, almost 1,000 students in the spring. So what that tells me again is students want to be at NCCU. They want to be in the Triangle area. They see the opportunities. They see how their futures can really come together in understanding and earning a quality education. And as a constituent institution of the University of North Carolina system, that's our brand. And to have a university right here, we're right in Durham as well as in Chapel Hill, University of North Carolina, NC State, all of us right here, and even Duke. Do I have any Duke Blue Devils in the house? All right, even Duke. And I have been very strategic and intentional about making sure that we partner with Duke University, Durham Tech, and also NC State and Chapel Hill, of course. So when we think about those partnerships, our students benefit from those things. They benefit from these partnerships. And I want us to continue to grow. You may have read that we received $1 million from Google to start an artificial intelligence hub on our campus. $1 million. This is an investment because we want to give students an opportunity to be innovative as they prepare for the future. AI is here to stay. There's no way we're going to get away from it or get around it. We have to embrace it. And so when we think about AI, we also know that it's the future, and we have to train our students. So this partnership is going to be in partnership with NC State, UNC, Durham Tech, and Duke. That's where we're going to build this partnership and make sure we have a collaborative effort to give our students an opportunity to learn more and to earn and to really be ready and prepared for the future. So this school will have 200 students. We'll work in collaboration, as I said, with all of our local universities and colleges. And then also we have a new building where it will be housed. And this building up here, I showed you a little picture there, is on Fayetteville Street. It has not opened officially, but we will have a ribbon cutting very soon for this new building. But this is where the AI hub will be. Jennifer mentioned the interview I did with David Crabtree. If you have not seen that, please do, because that was very early on in my appointment as Chancellor. And like I said, it's only been 7 months, so y'all still give me a chance, right? But it was a great conversation with David about NCCU, where we are now and where I want to go. It is a new day. We are doing things differently. We're doing things more strategic, more intentional, and we're being good stewards of every single dollar we get from the state. What I found at Elizabeth City State University, where I spent 6 years, where I know you know another name, Margaret Spellings. Margaret Spellings was the president of the UNC system when I was there as vice president for academic and student affairs. Margaret Spellings recommended I go to Elizabeth City State. At that particular time, the university was facing very grave challenges. I went to Elizabeth City State, became the permanent chancellor, was there for 6 years. If you have not been to Northeastern North Carolina to see that campus, try to make a trip on your way to the beach to stop by. It is absolutely beautiful. When you talk about transformation, that is the ideal model of transformation of a university. And also, more specifically, no one knew that ECSU had aviation. Aviation. The state of North Carolina invested. When I got there, we owned 2 airplanes. When I left, ECSU owned 15 airplanes. What has happened is the demographics of the university has changed. The gender majority of the university has changed. 51% male. You don't see that in higher education across our country. But it's the programming that helps drive. You know, I hear demographers talk all the time about where are the males in higher education? Where are they? Well, we got to look at ways to provide opportunity where we're attracting the males to great potential of successful careers in what they're interested in. And aviation was the niche at ECSU. So at North Carolina Central, you may know, we have 2 research institutes on our campus. We are doing biomanufacturing. We are looking at research as it pertains to cancer. We are partnering with companies in RTP. What attracted me to this position is all the opportunity in this area that we can tap into as an institution and grow partnerships and really make an impact as we work together. So I talked a little bit about that. I've also been out in the last 7 months trying to meet the community. Meeting the community is important to me. I do not believe you can get anything accomplished in a silo. It takes all of us, it takes we, it takes us coming together and making things happen. So I spoke as keynote to the city of Durham. We're building relationships with the city of Durham. We're building relationships with the county. We're looking even to broaden out as we are today to talk more about what's happening at NCCU. And then I had a clergy breakfast for the first time. Clergy breakfast, all pastors, clergies were invited in Durham. These are the ones that accepted the invitation. And I want to grow this every year because it takes all of us coming together. And it also takes a lot of prayer too, when it pertains to some of the challenges that we face and making sure that we're able to navigate those things. This is a new initiative at NCCU that I want to make sure you know about so you can tell everyone in your community, at your churches, on your job, wherever you're talking to folks. We have a nutrition clinic on campus. It just opened in October 2024. This clinic is absolutely free. It's absolutely free. Anyone who wants to come and meet with Ms. Roper here, who's the director of the clinic, can come, walk in, appointment, Zoom, whatever you want to do, and she will meet with you and talk about things that you're concerned about as it relates to health, diabetes, high blood pressure, weight loss, all those things. This woman is absolutely phenomenal, and this is a free service to the community as we think about servant leadership and being a part of the community and the triangle. We're offering this free of charge. So please spread the word about, and she is a registered dietitian, so please spread the word about this in the community as well. And then community engagement, we have an art exhibit. We have a museum on campus, open to the public. You see the hours, come by, look at the artwork there. We're featuring various artists. And I just wanted to get that out there. One thing that we don't do a good job of is telling our story and getting the information out there. And with my background in media and branding and broadcasting, I love to tell the story. So we have to do a better job of telling the story of who we are as NCCU and what that looks like and how we can continue to serve our communities. We're going through a strategic plan. No president or chancellor ever likes to walk into a university and have to come up with a strategic plan. But I had no choice because the current one expired. So we are going to put together a strategic plan, and I want your voice. You will get information about a survey, forums. Join us. Help us talk through what should be the top 5 or the top 10 goals for the next 5 years for NCCU and how we can serve the citizens of North Carolina and beyond. So I want it to be comprehensive. I want it to be inclusive. I want everybody's voice as we figure this out strategically and what we should be focused on and what we want to accomplish. How you can help. We want to continue to grow. You've seen the growth. The students are there. The UNC system has conducted many data analysis on when students come to universities in North Carolina. Guess what? They stay. They stay. And when they are here, our citizens that we serve right here in North Carolina, we want them to continue to stay. What does that do? Create economic growth, positive economic impact. We want them to be here. So when we think about enrollment, we got to tell our story. We have to recruit. We have to talk about NCCU and what we offer. That's why it's so important to tell our story. Fundraising, if you can't write a check, maybe someone in your circle can. And that's what's important is because all of our institutions, when you think about our budgets, and I've seen this across the UNC system where I worked for 10 years, I know the state money that we get from the state budget is restricted money for certain projects. But other things like athletics, auxiliaries, all those things are things the university has to fund. Scholarships, those things we have to fund. So your investment is very critical to our success. And as I started out, I said, we're going to be great stewards. I know what that looks like. At my previous institution, the state of North Carolina, we ended up with an investment of over $350 million on capital projects. So that's why I say when that university looks absolutely amazing, it looks absolutely amazing, believe me. And one thing I miss is all the water. Those of you who love water, the beaches are there and everything, so that's very nice. But now I'm back in the triangle. So I'll have to just go visit like you do sometimes. But those things are important, and I want to make sure our students have a great experience and they have a positive experience because they are our future. They are our future. One day I'm going to retire too. I may look 25, but I'm not. It's just that cocoa butter I use. But one day they're going to retire. I mean, you know, we're going to retire, and we got to have a pipeline of capable young adults able to do the things that we've all been able to accomplish. We have to pour into them. If not, I don't want to be sitting at home and enjoying life and maybe on the beach, and I'm worried about what's happening across our country or in higher education. I want to ensure that we are doing what we need to prepare students to lead and prepare them for the future. And advocacy, I am always on Jones Street, y'all know Jones Street in Raleigh, where the legislature is, and talking about the importance of the investments because I see the difference it makes. I see what success looks like. I see what we can do to invest and make sure that we build that pipeline of students who are prepared and able to do the things that we need to do and fill the positions that we have once filled. And that's why succession planning is so important as well. We have to grow our own. We have to make sure the citizens of North Carolina are ready to continue to push North Carolina forward. And so that's my commitment, and I hope that you all have the same commitment. I do have a couple of big things coming up that I wanted to mention to you. One is the installation. I will officially be the 13th Chancellor on April 11th. And please come. Look, you're hearing directly from me. I want you to come. I want you to come, be there, join with us. We're expecting lots of people. Please come and celebrate NCCU and the installation that President Peter Hans will be putting the official medallion on me for the 13th Chancellor of NCCU. But please come if you're available. You have an open invitation, and I hope to see some of you there and grab me and say, hey, you remember me? And I'll be so excited to see you all again. So please do come to the installation on April 11th. And that night, we're having a gala, a fundraising gala. So we will have sponsorship opportunities and ticket sales. It's a fundraising gala for scholarships for our students. So please come to that. It's going to be at the Sheraton. If you're interested, ticket information will be out there on our website very soon. So if you're interested, it's a night of black tie and formal dresses. So please come and celebrate that with us as well. So our day of giving is April 1st, and that's the day where you can just use this QR code, go to our website. All universities have a day of giving, and that's just a day where we solicit any fundraising or opportunities for donorship of our institutions. And North Carolina Central, ours is April 1st. So I wanted to leave you with this great quote from Henry Ford. Coming together is just the beginning. This is just the start, right? Keeping together is progress. We must make progress. And then working together is success. And we've all seen success. So I hope that all of you will join us and we work together and do what's great for the UNC system, for higher education across the state of North Carolina, but more specifically for North Carolina Central University, because when I leave here, I'm going to go out there and say, I now have a room full of Eagles. So remember, when y'all see me, when you hear about the Eagles, come to games. I want you to come to everything. Come to everything. Send me an email and say, hey, Karrie, I'm coming to your game, and we'll make sure you're good. So come to games, come to everything, and support the Eagles. And when you think about us, not the Philadelphia Eagles, yes, I love them too, but when you think about us, just Eagle pride. That's what we do. And some people do this, so now you know. But again, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate your attention, and I will open the floor for any questions at this point.
Thank you so much for coming. And we'll share some of that information out to our public, that's all right.
Thank you.
I do a lot of work with the uninsured and get them into a proper medical home. Mm-hmm. So your slide with Ms. Roper and the nutrition clinic.
Yes.
So one, may I refer folks?
Yes.
Okay.
Please do.
That's excellent. And
Please
then,
do.
if she finds a patient that is pre-diabetic or has severe hypertension, does she work with them, or does she refer them to a medical home?
Both,
okay.
A little both. So what she does, and I've been over there actually to sit and kind of talk with her and see the space, and it's very impressive. She will educate, provide insight on food choices. And what happens, as for example, with a diabetic. Food choices, thinking about how you eat throughout the day, what will trigger your blood sugar to increase, and those types of things. Now, if it gets to the point where those lifestyle changes can't impact the health of the person, that's when she will help them to find someone outside of the clinic to help and address the issue more specifically.
Wow, what a great resource.
Yeah, but it's free, so we gotta, take advantage of it. Yes.
Well, thank you. Lorenzo.
Thank you so much. A couple of questions about your program. So it looked like you had a PhD graduate. I was wondering what PhD programs you offer. And related to programs, if someone enters the Google AI Institute, what degree or certificate do they get?
So it's what we're doing right now. We have a faculty member who is the point person, Dr. Siobhan Grady, is the director for the AI Institute. So we are leaning towards the establishment of a certificate. But at this point, what we really wanted to do is bring great minds together, build a think tank around AI. I have to tell you, I know this is kind of off, but I got to tell y'all this story. So remember the name Jameer Hamilton. Jameer Hamilton is a 20-year-old at North Carolina Central University. I took him with me to the UNC Board of Governors meeting last month, and the whole room was almost out of their seats. This young man is a 20-year-old at North Carolina Central, and he, as a middle school student, figured out a way to hack Roblox as a middle school student. He hacked Roblox, learned the algorithm of Roblox, took that to build 18 games that he owns of his own. He is global. This young man at 20 years old is making over $30,000 a month because of his 18 companies that he owns. And he came to my office and he said, Chancellor, I need a lawyer, I need a financial, and I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, what are you talking about? And he said, well, he said, the Roblox CEO flew me to California when I figured out the algorithm. I built games off of that. Entrepreneurship. We have entrepreneurship on our campus in a brand new school of business. What we're going to do is couple the work that's being done in the AI Hub with entrepreneurship and business to build all the innovative creativity out of our students and to figure out what we can do to support them making an impact in research and in technology. So that's just an example, but this is an innovative opportunity for us to really do a lot there, and we hope to get to a certificate program. There's no degree. We do have cybersecurity and we have computer science and things like that, but we hope to get there. I want to do more with drones too, because drones is the future. We did the drone degree program at Elizabeth City State. I want to do drones and right here, because with our allied health, medical field, STEM, we could be using and training people with certificates to do medical drone delivery, and law enforcement, insurance companies, all of these companies that aren't really thinking about drone usage as much as they should be now. The training has to be offered. Had a partnership with Wake Tech, built a pavilion at Wake Tech in their new Wendell campus. Wake Tech got it. Scott Rawls called me, Karrie, what are we going to do with drones? Pipeline into the UNC system for drones, but we got to have that type of thinking, mindset as we think about the future and as we plan. So I know that was a lot for your question, but I just had to throw like all these different things in there because AI, I see it as the future. 2 months on the job, Google came and said, we want to invest in North Carolina Central, but we never thought we had the right time to do it. When we found out you were going to be there, now is the time. So I was very thrilled about that because I'm like, oh wow, I've been in the job 2 months and now I have $1 million coming from Google and they want us to do something. Well, we're going to do it, and we're going to do it in partnership and make sure we build that pipeline and prepare students to be successful as it pertains to technology, artificial intelligence of the future. We have to do it. We have to prepare them. And so your first question was the PhD program. The PhD program is in our biotech area, associated with our GRITE program, one of our research institutes. I want to expand our PhD offerings. Right now, we are closer than I thought we would be in being a Research 2 institution. If you saw in the news, just recently, Western Carolina just got the R2 designation. ECU got the R1 designation for Research 1. UNC Charlotte got the R1 for Research 1. I want NCCU to get to the R2, and we're actually closer than I thought. We just have to come up with a couple more PhD programs to get to that R2 status, and that's where I want to kind of focus that on. But right now, we're just beginning to play in that space around doctoral degrees. But we're going to get there, and that's kind of where we are right now. Thank you for that question.
Well, if I may, I apologize for being the best dressed person in the room. I mean, but I knew you worked with TV.
Yes.
And so I thought I would come prepared.
Well, you look great. You look great. I love it.
So I just I just came from Estella Patterson's retirement festivities in Raleigh. Estella Patterson was the chief police chief in Raleigh, and she's just retired. And it was at the Providence Church. It was absolutely packed. It was the most diverse audience of which I've ever been in, and it was fabulous. But one of the things that is repeatedly true is that recruitment of police officers is difficult, and they're all short. Durham is, the last time I saw, was short 200 police officers.
Yes.
Raleigh is short 100 police officers. Every police agency in the state is desperate for people.
Yes.
So my question to you is there a way, and this may be a stupid question, you know, I'm sitting next to a lawyer, by the way, in case somebody. So,
I can guarantee it's going to be stupid.
So the question is there a way for you to help with men and women who might be interested in pursuing that? You mentioned law enforcement.
Yes.
Is there a way for the university to help fill those spots, fill those passions that they've got the police academy? But I'm talking about something different. I mean,
Yes.
It's a crazy question.
No, it's not a crazy question. It's a great question because, and it's very timely from the standpoint I just saw on the news this morning. I didn't realize the chief was retiring, so I saw it on the news this morning. I was like, oh wow, she's retiring. But it is a challenge that we as North Carolinians have to think about, strategize for, and put in place what some of these partnerships can look like. And let me give you some examples. So at North Carolina Central, criminal justice is one of our top 5 majors. Top 5. And what we have to do is be better informed and more strategic about that relationship with Durham PD, Raleigh PD, Chapel Hill PD. And Appalachian State has a program in place that has proven to be very strong, where students who are interested in becoming part of law enforcement start their sophomore year, and they are matched up with the local police department, and from there they get the experience, they do ride-alongs, they do things to help encourage that hiring, which is guaranteed at their graduation date. So that's a program that has been done very well. The other piece is we have to pay police officers. We have to pay them. So the UNC Board of Governors, they put in place about 5 years ago a campus security fee that all students who attend any of the 17 institutions have to pay a campus security fee. They did that because we were losing officers even on the campuses where we need them more than ever. And that fee allows us as an institution to raise the salaries to be more competitive as it pertains to recruiting officers and retaining officers. So their investment and their recognition of our campus police has heightened so much that they feel valued. And it's a job that they want and a job they want to keep. Now, relationship with the city, relationship with the sheriff's department, we have to be more strategic in how we do that. And what they see is that when you graduate with a college degree and become a police officer, that is another incentive for a higher salary. So those types of things have to get out there, and we have to be more strategic in how we build those pipelines, because law enforcement is very important to everyone. And we want to make sure that we have that pipeline there. But our criminal justice, we have a number of students who go into law enforcement, not just in Durham though. They go back home. They go back to other counties, and they become officers there. I have 3 in mind right now who have left and gone to back home and became officers. So we got to do more in that area. I'm excited about the fact that it's one of our top majors, and that the UNC Board of Governors are invested in doing all that can be done to recruit and retain police officers on our campuses in a competitive way, and then building out, like Appalachian State, those programs where we partner to make sure they have a pipeline. Yes?
Incidentally, our former longtime police chief and our town manager was radio, TV, motion picture graduate here at the University of North Carolina, so maybe we'll get some TV people over to the place. I have two questions as it relates to government here at Chapel Hill. We always felt that the presidency of the university is a high prestige job with daily nightmares. I mean, we're, kind of pressure from everywhere. So the question has to do with give and take from the government. You talked about the government support from the North Carolina legislature. How does your per capita, per student support compare in dollars to the other institutions like UNC, NC State, and some of the smaller ones? And then secondly, how much pressure do you feel from government to do things that the government would want you to do that would not normally be something that would be an academic decision, but would be a political decision?
So your first question in regards to how we're funded. In the UNC system, we are funded based on enrollment, so we have enrollment growth funding. We also have, which was adopted a few years ago, performance funding. And that's to hold the universities more accountable in the strategic direction of the UNC system. I'm sorry, you can't. Can I take this off? Okay, is this better? Yes. Okay. So in the UNC system, we have performance funding and enrollment growth funding. And when we look at ways in which we're funded, all of that is consistent across the UNC campuses based on enrollment numbers. Does that make sense? So when we think about our state allocations, it is a formula that predicts what that looks like. So growth, for example, gives more opportunity for operational success of the institution. Now, what has happened across the country with historically Black colleges and universities is there has been a performance growth model. And we also have fees that the Board of Governors approves that all students pay in the UNC system, and that's why I gave that example of the campus security fee. So from that standpoint, the per capita is based on that formula in regards to the money that we get on a yearly basis to run the institution. Anything else, sponsorships, donors, athletic programs, we have some very successful, I know we have a lot of Tar Heels in the room. We have some very successful programs and alumni who kind of supplement a lot of what the university would not have without you. I mean, just think, we probably would not have too many campuses that could pay a coach $50 million. But it is what it is. I thought I might get a chuckle. I'm hating because I'm a wolf pack. Maybe we'll get there. But those types of things are just the realities of the job and of the funding model and of public education in North Carolina. We also, of course, collect tuition. And so the tuition and fees we have in place in North Carolina, NC Promise. Have you heard about that? Yeah. We have 4 campuses. My previous campus was an NC Promise campus, $500 tuition, but it was supplemented by the legislature, the money that we would have typically made off of tuition to continue the operations of the institution so that you're not left behind or you're not putting students in position that they don't get the amenities and the other things that other students have. So one beneficial thing about the UNC system is that we are one. We are a strong system. We are leading nationally as the public system in the country with keeping tuition low. President Hans has been committed and the Board of Governors to keeping tuition low. We're in year 8 of that. We hope, or they hope also, to get to year 10 of keeping tuition low. But when you keep tuition low, we're also faced as leaders to make tough decisions. We have to look at what's essential and what's not essential. We have to make those decisions around what we can do with and what we can do without. And very often is doing more with less. So that's why it's so important to make sure that we have those donations, we have that support, we have the fundraising. Public education is very beneficial. I mean, we benefit from the fact that we are public because we do get a portion of the taxpayers' dollars to help run our institutions, unlike the private institutions. But at the end of the day, we still have a responsibility to raise money. And you talk about the job 24/7. It is 24/7. It is a job that is a very stressful position because you're basically held accountable for a small city. And your small city can vary. We have NC State with over 35,000 students. We have UNC Chapel Hill with over 33,000 students. We have UNC Charlotte. We have my campus. We're approaching 9,000 students. Every day, I have to think about the safety of my campus, my students, the quality of the education that we're providing, making sure the return on investment is there so that I can tell taxpayers like you that we are doing all that we can and we are being good stewards of every dollar that comes to us. Those types of things are things that we have to be in, that we're in position to make decisions around and to do what's best for the institution, to continue to thrive and get those high rankings that we want and that we see. So when we think about that, it's a lot. It's a lot to do. I do have, if there's a couple of things that keep me up at night is housing. As we grow, we're running out of housing. As we, and all the institutions, you got to think these institutions, many were started in the 1800s. NCCU was founded in 1910. Some of our buildings look like 1910. And we have these millennials and Gen Z and X and Y and coming to campus and they're like, wait, I'm not going to live in there. And we all face that. Even our flagship face that. I mean, my daughter going to UNC Chapel Hill freshman year, she said, Mom, is this my dorm? This is my room at Chapel Hill? Yeah, it is. But that's the reality. So you see that we all face some of the same challenges, but we're working with the state, we're working with our board of governors, we're working with our president, Peter Hines, to make sure that we're positioning ourselves to continue to be successful, but also to be held accountable for having some skin in the game and looking to our alumni, to our donors, to our friends to help us position ourselves for the future and to be successful.
One last one. Sorry if this is a stupid question. I'm not from North Carolina for very long yet. Can you tell me about the demographics? Like, how many of the students come from out of state to your university? What percentage is African American? Just briefly.
So at North Carolina Central University, and I'll give you a just brief context, the UNC system had in place 18% cap. 18% cap for out-of-state students. And I think we all in the room know why. We want to make sure that North Carolinians get the first seats at our universities, right? So that's where the 18% cap policy came in place years ago. A lot of that was driven by UNC Chapel Hill, quite honestly, because everybody wants to go to, some people want to go to Chapel Hill, right? And so they come from all over the country, and the policy says you can only accept 18% out of state. The first seats for consideration should go to North Carolinians. So what has happened in North Carolina is we now have opportunity for capacity and growth at some of our institutions. So the Board of Governors went back and they analyzed where that capacity for growth for out-of-state students which institutions can afford to continue to grow with increasing the percentage of out-of-state. So at NCCU, we have gone from 18% to 35%, where we can accept 35% out-of-state students. Last year with this class that I showed you, We came in at about 33% are out-of-state students. Well, you may wonder, why did the board do that? Well, the board did it because what we also saw is that when students from out of state come to North Carolina, they stay. Because of the return on investment. Remember that ROI is important. They stay. So it was justifiable to say, okay, those universities that have capacity for growth, let's increase their percentage. And we were one that they increased from 18% to 35%. I can accept out-of-state students now. As far as our demographics, that example that I gave with the demographics was more so speaking to my previous institution, Elizabeth City State University. But at North Carolina Central University, we are still 70-30 male-female, females leading 70-30%, 70% female, 30%, and we're about 89% African American. And so we have some, some more of diverse students coming to our institutions, and especially as we grow in the online space and as we grow in the PhD doctoral space in research. That will be attractive. And that's why I'm thinking strategically about that particular growth. The online space, there's no capacity issue. We can grow as much as we want with online. And that's another area of targeted growth. So we have to be strategic and intentional about how we do these things and what it looks like. But thank you for that question.
And thank you, Dr. Dixon. Because of your NC State background, but it's a token of our appreciation. A member of our has these brought in from Canadian gifts, and they are read about them.
Yes.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure.
Thank you all.
Thank y'all for coming out. Have a nice weekend. Go to Field.
So I didn't get your.
You didn't get it? Okay, let's see. Now one time.
Somebody got you.
Somebody else got it.
Hi, Linda.
Okay, tell me if you got it.
Good job, man. Thank you. Good stuff.
As we build them, it's great to let me know if you got it.
Say hi. Good to see you. Welcome to Rotary.
Thank you. How you doing? Okay. Okay, we're done early today. Oh, okay. Oh, you doing? How was your weekend? And did you get it? Okay, send you back my card in a few minutes. I'm good. I like your question. That was a great, I mean, those are the,
I didn't know.
I didn't know either. No, and I have, I graduated from Carolina in 99, and I know a couple of people even who graduated from me and ended up going to law school. Like, they were not African American. They went to law school at Central. So I was curious when you asked that question of how since back then, it's like, what the breakdown is. So.
Because, and I asked the question with Marvin, if the school became 50% white and 50% black, would it still be an HBCU? Right. But it's how it's chartered. So even as the percentage of blacks might go down,
right. And there was a thing like 2 years ago where they were, I don't know, don't quote me on this, but where I think they were trying to actually change it from
his HBCUs back to being.
You guys were just being.
I hope I wasn't being so
Hi, everyone. Intraoral exam of me.
Right. Ah.